my goodness. Hello, guys. It's me, Butterfly Spirit 314. So, guys, what I wanted to do is I'm going to turn my sound up a little bit. So, anyway, hello, guys. It's me, Butterfly Spirit 314. So, guys, I wanted to tell you guys about my progress that I've been making in my book that I've been reading, The Dance of Connection. So, I've been making progress in the book, and oh, this book was actually signed by the author. I literally didn't, I really didn't think much about it. Anyway, guys, I'm in chapter 10 of this book. And the great thing is, guys, is that I've been learning a lot of information about finding my voice and learning how to voice things that I really feel and stuff. So recently I learned about finding my bottom line. So what your bottom line is like when something gets to the point where you say enough. That's what your bottom line is. And for me, I'm still exploring like what that means. Like right now, I'm mostly working on like just doing reading and stuff. I haven't really been taking any notes in this book. I was before, but now I'm like not. Basically, I'm just like reading and stuff and trying to get through to the end of the book. Then I'll kind of go back, okay, and like reflect over it and things like that. So, um, what I will say, guys, is that I did make some progress um, recently in terms of like in terms of speaking up. So I made some progress in terms of um, saying what I want. So like I wanted like there was like a cake at work that they had like somebody had like some like little Debbie cakes, and normally I'd be like really scared to ask, but I went over to the girl and I said, "Hey, can I have one of your little Debbie cakes?" And she was like, "Sure," you know. And I had the confidence to ask for something, and speak up about what it is that I wanted to say. Also, what I've been doing is listening to, my needs in particular. Normally, like I put off what my needs are, but I've been working on like listening to my own individual needs. And so that's something else that I've been doing. Today, I had a dream about where in the dream, I was angry at somebody. And instead of me just being angry and stuff, what I did is in the dream, I found myself not getting swept away by anger. Like in the past, I normally would have got swept away by anger. Instead, what I did in the dream was I knew I was angry, but instead of reacting and letting the anger just like flood over me, what I decided to do instead is I decided in the dream that what I would do is not let the anger control me, and I would just move forward, and not react out of anger, but to kind of think things through to figure out what I wanted to do. And I guess I must have been working on, this so much that now it's in my dreams and stuff like that, it's in my subconscious and stuff, So, and that's a good thing too. And what that teaches me is that, feeling emotions is fine, and sometimes feeling emotions means that, like if we feel sad or anxious or frustrated or concerned, it's important to listen to that, because sometimes our feelings reveal more about us than what we realize. And sometimes it flies over our head and we don't even know, you know what I mean? So, for me, I'm learning about things, Now I have been a bit worried lately because one of my coworkers, she's currently on vacation right now, but she said that she's going to be, she's looking for another job. And I have been pretty anxious about that. And so, I still have to kind of figure out why I'm so anxious, right? Towards, her finding another job. I mean, she's been working in our department for like 10 years, but I'm like, I find myself being kind of, wanting her to stay around, not wanting things to change. We have a couple of new guys on the team, so that's a bit different now too. I mean, it's good, but then again, also I'm kind of like nervous about, my coworker like going to another team and stuff like that too. And what I've been doing to try to deal with that is I started to focus on the fact that, you know, if she's going to move on to another team, and stuff, and I'm anxious about that, you know, the thing is that what I have to do is that I have to focus on my own self. If I'm so hyper focused on what she's doing and that she's looking for something else, you know, I don't want my work to suffer. I don't want anybody to be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Have management come over like, "Hey, what's going on? Why aren't you like focused or whatever?" And so what I've been doing is I've been doing some self-love affirmations, and then I've also been just focusing on myself, and trying to do my best to try to make sure that I'm keeping my mind occupied on what I'm doing, because at the end of the day, I have to focus on myself because, there are still things I have to do. You know what I mean? Now, my coworker, she did say something about the fact that I was saying to her, I was like, "Oh, are you going to enjoy your vacation?" Because she's going to have like a week vacation. And she was like, "Oh, it's not long enough." And I'm like, "Oh, so I guess she's kind of burnt out and extremely over the job. And maybe that's why she's looking for something else and stuff. And the thing is that, I realized that what I have to do is, my goodness, my hair is all over the place. I just took it out of a ponytail. I realized that, I have to focus. I have to know that it's okay if she moves into another position. And frankly, I've been in my position for a couple of years now. And, you know, sooner or later, I might start looking for something new, some other type of job and stuff. So, I think maybe, I should kind of think about where do I want to go in terms of, in terms of, in terms of a new position. But I'm not really doing anything just yet until I feel, until I feel the most comfortable anyway. So I think for the time being, like, I just need to focus on myself and what my progress is. And if she moves to another team, that's fine. One of my other coworkers that was pretty difficult and was pretty controlling and stuff, another coworker, she ended up getting a job in another department and stuff. But I find that that coworker that left our team, she's not very happy in the new position or anything like that. I kind of had a feeling that she wasn't going to like it very much or anything. So I kind of feel like, well, you know, um, I guess that's what happens when you kind of, jump from one thing to another, and you just like do it really quick or something. So anyway, I guess and this teaches me too that like, don't do anything out of anxiety. If you do something out of anxiety, you'll regret it because, you jumped into the deep end and then here you go. Now you're having to swim and stuff. And um, my coworker, she was complaining about how, that job was harder and she has to do like 100 different steps in that new job to do one task and all that, and she's frustrated with multiple people on that new team, like, doing the same thing she's doing, and she's not having such a good time. And this is something that, teaches me like, hey, if I decide to move into a new position, and at some point I will, it teaches me maybe it's better to move on when I feel comfortable to move on, not just to jump off the deep end or be like, oh my God, let me hurry up and do something. No, do it when I'm ready and when I feel comfortable. Now, my other coworker who I'm cool with, I think I just have to let her be herself. And honestly, I think she's over the job. Frankly, I think she's kind of, I feel like she, I think she just really like, I don't know, like, I don't think she's like motivated to do the job or something like that after this much time. I don't know. But anyway, you know, that's just something she's gonna have to figure out. But I think in the meantime, like I'm gonna keep working on myself, keep working on, speaking, like my truth in terms of how I really feel and things. And I'm gonna keep making progress. Oh, I forgot. In terms of my book progress, I forgot the fact that in chapter 10, where I'm in, it's about warming things up. So, one thing I'm learning about is I'm learning about, how it's important to be positive. If there's no positivity in a relationship, you're pretty much at a lost cause if all you see is the negative. And I can tell you from my own personal past that I used to be the type of person that I would be like all up in just seeing the negative. But now like I found myself like reflecting back in the past on like me being like hyper focused on another person. And I brought it back and I was like, but what does that say about me? If I'm so focused on what this other person is doing and how they're spending time, you know, with their family, what's going on with my family? Why am I not connected with my own people? What should I be sorting out? And I found myself like having that realization, and the great thing is recently I have been spending time with my family and stuff. And I'm just kind of starting to look at things that I was like focused on and kind of pulling it back to myself and say, well, what does that say about me? What does that say about, what does that say? Like, are there some things that I haven't been listening to, in terms of certain situations? And so I think that's one of the things that I want to do is, is look into like how can I feel more comfortable? How can I make sure that I'm meeting needs and wants for myself in terms of like I was saying, for example, with my ex, I used to be upset when he'd go spend time with his family. And when I was at work, I found myself like, I think it was on Friday, I found myself being like, you know what? I was so focused on him spending time with his people. Well, you know, why would I be upset with him spending time with his people if, what was going on with my family, you know? And honestly, I did put off spending time with my own family because I felt like my responsibility was just to the relationship only. But now I realize that, it's important for me to develop relationships with people in my family. It's important. Now, I will tell you, recently I did try to mend some ties with a couple of my mom's sisters, where I sent them like Hallmark cards for Thanksgiving. And what I will tell you guys is I did not get a Hallmark card back from them. I didn't get a phone call back from either of them. But you know what? At least I tried. So nobody can say I didn't try, I didn't do anything. But anyway, at least it shows that I'm open to having a relationship with them at some point. But if they didn't reach out, and this tells you guys too, if you try to establish a relationship with somebody in your family and they don't respond in the way that you want or they don't reach out to you, it says more about them than it says about you. If you're willing to reach out to them, good. If they're not willing to reach out to you, hey, maybe for them, maybe they got some things they got to work on, but don't let it concern you. And for me, I'm just moving forward, and going forward with my life and things and thinking about some of the things I want to do, you know. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to fill you guys in on my book progress so far that I've been working on. Um, and how I'm in chapter 10. I believe there's 15 chapters in the Dance of Connection. But yeah, I'm learning more and more about myself every day. And I find it to be extremely good. And I'm very happy to be able to say that I am. And to get to where I am, guys, it's not an overnight thing. It definitely is not. And one thing I'm learning about, which I'll say I'm very proud of at work, is that I'm learning to just go with the flow at work. So that there's two new guys on the team, and there's somebody who's in charge of training them. And I kind of wanted to jump in and help with the training, but you know what? I just decided to just fall back and focus on what I'm doing. If that person's giving the wrong information, hey, if they come to me and ask me a question and stuff, I'm happy to help them. But you know what? I'm just kind of letting things just kind of go with the flow, and not trying to be so controlling over things. So just letting things kind of sail, letting things happen and stuff. And just kind of go from there. And it's not easy to do what I'm doing, but you know what? I'm doing it. And I'm proud to say that I am. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching the video whenever you get time. It's about 7:10 p.m. where I am in the evening. So anyway, thank you for watching all. Thank you guys for all. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching this video. I really appreciate you. And bye for now. Bye.